The ego is like the big elephant in the room, because like when I say that, don't identify with the ego and don't listen to the ego, listen to your soul and handle life from your soul. It is not so easy to know what to do when you are seeing that you are coming from your ego. So I want to talk about the ego anyway, because the ego is really good at telling us to stop or to not even try or to problem solve. It is really good at being in the past, blaming ourselves or blaming others, blaming situations, blaming whatever for our life not to be what we love it to be. Or it is worried about the future, stopping us from following our dreams and our passions. And therefore I want to talk about it, because every time we meet the fear, the limits in ourselves, we are coming from the ego. And when we are meeting that in our daily lives, I really mean that we don't need to heal or fix or problem solve. So I mean now that when we are in the situation, in the moment, and we recognize our ego to be the active part of us, that's when we need to stop and look at what we are doing. Because then we are always telling ourselves a story that is not true. It could be a story about the past, maybe blaming ourselves for something in the past that is causing us suffering right now, or blaming others, or blaming situations we have been in or we are in. Or it could be us worrying about the future, a future that has not even happened yet. So when we see that we are in a situation and that is happening, we need to know that we have a choice. We need to know that we can choose to come from the soul. And when we stop and we get present and we get into the soul, it's like a magnet going like this. And as long as we tell ourselves the story we believe in, we are also attracting that to be in our reality. And if we are thinking of ourselves as a victim from something that has been happening to us in the past, we are thinking that we need healing, or we are thinking that we need fixing, or we might be thinking that we have to get an apologize from somebody, or that we have to apologize to somebody. And then we are keeping the story alive, and then we are keeping our lives less than blissful. And this magnet is always staying as long as we keep telling those stories. But as quick as we stop telling the stories and we go from our head to our heart, the magnet will stop working and it will just drop like that. When we stop telling the story, the problem is solved, because there was never a problem, it is dissolved. So again, simplicity is key. Simplicity is so magic. It is helping us all the time. So maybe next time you find yourself stressed, or you find yourself feeling limited, try to stop and see the story you are telling yourself and drop it. Maybe ask yourself, do I really need this story? Do I really want to keep this story in my life? Because you are the one putting yourself in the cage with the story. So for every story we release, we make ourselves more free. And then we make ourselves free to live the life we really want to live. So it's not a Very hard question, is it? Are you good at listening, or are you feeling that it's hard? Is it hard to not believe the ego? Tell me in the comments, and tell me if you have stopped and seen and understood, and maybe what was your reaction when you figured out that you were making it very much more difficult than it needed to be. Okay, bye bye.